wait for tomorrow. John Macken. If anyone's listening to the podcast tomorrow, we got the man, the legend, John Macken coming in. So me and City Day, we got some killer questions lined up for him. Can't wait for that.
Same.
I think it's going to be great. I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I bet he's got a couple of in the locker stories. He's getting ready to pop out to us as well.
Yeah,
that should be good listening. That's really positive. There's been the rumour mill started to go again, isn't it? With transfers, you can see things are moving now. I'm just getting sick and tired of seeing Leroy Sane mentioned by the British media every single day. It's not even funny anymore. I'm starting to question whether it is Bayern Munich that's pushing all the buttons, or it's just the British media just trying to create some kind of storm about it. It's getting a bit silly now.
Yeah. Nothing else to talk about, is there? I guess so. That's what they're going to do. They're just going to push our buttons with something. So, I know me and Dan don't particularly agree on this.
No,
very much, but he's our player. I'd rather see him at City than not. Particularly if he can come back the same player he was before his injury. He's a wonderful player. I don't want to lose him, but at the same token, I don't want him to go for 50 million. I really don't. I'd rather keep him.
Do you know what? From what the papers are saying, the whole Bayern have made a maximum bid of 35 million. I mean, City have seen that as a new offence and fed up with the constant attacks. 35 million. I'd rather him run out his contract.
Yeah, for 35 million, I would. I mean, I know I said to Dave I wouldn't, but that is disgusting behaviour. But Tom, just when you interviewed, I can't remember. I'm not pronouncing his second name, but that Gabriel.
Mark Arthur, yeah.
It makes like when you said who is pushing the buttons. After that interview, it made me think how many people have got their fingers in the pie. Do you know what I mean? For all we know, who's pushing it is somebody wanting to buy stocks in Bayern Munich or. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy, really.
It is, and it's getting to a point now where it's just boring. I'm getting bored of Twitter. I used to love Twitter. I used to love the cut and thrust of Twitter and social media and the banter and stuff like that. But it's boring now. It's the same old stuff. It's like copy and paste Monday and paste it again on Thursday. It's literally the same type of content.
Mm.
We need football in our lives. This last 6 weeks has shown me how much I genuinely miss football. And I didn't. Yeah. I thought I was into football, but didn't actually realise how much I would miss it. Sad that.
I've got nothing to do at the weekends. Like, even though with the time difference, like I'm 8 hours behind. Those 3 or 4 o'clock games at the weekend. That started off my day. Like 7 o'clock in the morning. NBC Sports on, watch the game, and then I can get on with my day. And now I don't know what to do with myself at all.
Dan, can you imagine waking up and rolling out of bed and watching City straight away? You'd have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning on the lash, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know. I've done some early starts, but that'd be proper early. I just think I'd be straight through crew from night before.
Well, that's probably what you have to do, Dan, on the derby days, which tend to be, as you know, at noon.
Yeah.
So that's 4 o'clock in the morning for me.
Are there any pubs open for you for that?
Yeah. Huh?
Any local? I don't suppose there's any sort of any football friendly pubs right around your.
Yeah, I mean, there's so the pub where Manchester City did their kind of end of season party, which is called Kells, which is a big Irish pub in downtown.
Always an Irish pub.
Yeah,
that is a City in the community pub now. Like, there's a big poster on the wall and all that kind of stuff. So they will play all the City games, but no, they will not open at 4 in the morning to show a City game. Definitely not. And then there's another big sports bar here as well called the Toffee Club, and it's run by, as you can tell, Everton supporters, and they do a good job of it as well. But I refuse to go in there because I'm not giving Everton fans money. I'm not.
The Toffee Club sounds like a strip bar in Soho.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's called the Toffee Club. Those are the two biggies. There's a couple of other good sports bars as well, but tends to be Kells and then this Toffee Club. But yeah, I mean, as you say, I'm basically rolling out of bed at the weekend and then just in front of the TV for 2 hours. So.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Have you seen that obviously the none the wiser yet, because it's the way it's looking that Germany's going to be playing behind closed doors. That started the German league, I mean, and that's obviously going to happen to our league. I think we can all accept that. If the season's going to kick off again, it's going to be behind closed doors. I think we're 100% positive of that. But have you seen the My Applause app that's being tested in the Bundesliga? So fans can sort of press a button and it kind of makes cheering noises in the stadium. So basically, you can be watching the game at home and have an app on your phone, and you press buttons on the app to make certain noises and start certain chants off and stuff like that.
Fuck, disgusting.
Can you believe that?
What is the world coming to? No,
it's nearly
no.
as bad as them Americans doing Tetris song.
Yeah. So to give you an idea, the My Applause application has been tested by a number of Bundesliga clubs, and developers are keen to share the technology with the Premier League. Crikey almighty. Which would allow them to send virtual cheers and jeers from their homes directly to the stadium within a second, in the hope of generating an atmosphere at fixtures playing behind closed doors. Can you believe what I've just told you?
No.
How did
I can't believe they're still playing home and away, not just having it. I mean, I don't think it should restart over here, but I mean, at least we're thinking, right, just have it a close process, like keep everybody together, all a neutral ground. I think that's a better idea, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I've really not thought about this enough to give my opinion on where they stand. I can't see the problem with just playing at the stadiums. I've not heard an argument to tell me why it's a bad idea. Put it that way. I don't know if you two have heard any arguments to say why it's a bad idea to play at the stadium.
No.
Well, I just think it's the travel, isn't it? Are you saying did you say to play in your own stadium?
Yeah. So basically, if it's City have a home game, play at the Etihad.
I just think it's like if you're playing a London team, it's getting them all the way up here. Do you get what I mean? So I just think I think they were on about doing it in Birmingham. Say they've got West Brom, Villa, Birmingham City's ground all to use. So everybody can just go there and all the teams just stay in a designated hotel in Birmingham and then just ride it out. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do, but there's still going to be some clubs. I could understand that, for example, if City were to play United, play at Anfield, or if City would play Liverpool, play at Old Trafford. But I don't see the point in us travelling to Birmingham. We might as well just travel an extra 2 hours and go to London. I don't see the point in a centralised, because if Brighton played a London team, they're not going to play in Birmingham, are they? They'd be absolutely pointless.
No, what I mean is they're on about all the teams staying in Birmingham.
What? I think all the teams staying there in total.
Exactly. Yeah, almost like a World Cup or a European Championship. They want them all together, and then they'll go and do their games.
After they do all the games on the weekend and then go back to the families and start training again in the week, that type of thing?
Don't go back to the families.
That's not going to work. That's never going to work.
No.
The logistics of that is ridiculous. To tell people you're going to be away from your family for 6-8 weeks, I won't do it. There's no way people do that.
But that's what I mean. I think it's madness that they're even contemplating it. But it's an awkward one. I'm surprised Germany's going ahead with it, especially seeing as they had 10 cases confirmed.
The Bundesliga
crazy.
Seems a bit bonkers, doesn't it?
Now, what I don't understand is why, if I read this correctly yesterday, St. George's Park basically said, no, you're not using us. You're not using our facilities. Yeah. Now, this is the FA. So why are the FA turning round and saying, no, you can't use St. George's Park? Because for me, that would be perfect. It's in the middle of the country. So to Dan's point, you've got north and south can come to that location. I think they must have like 16, probably 24 pitches or something like that. And if this is all behind closed doors, they're going to be pristine pitches. Why can't they just play on there? Why have St. George's Park turned around and said, no, take us out of the running. You're not using our facilities. I don't get it.
I think it's madness.
Yeah.
I listened to an interview with the Brighton chairman. Is it Rick Parry? I can't remember his name. Brighton chairman on a couple of days ago. I was on a podcast, one of the 5 Live podcasts, and he was talking about the wanting to play at the home grounds and him not understanding the point, etc., etc. So all 20 clubs are not going to be able to agree on what the best thing to do. Are they?
No.
There's going to be someone's going to be miffed somewhere along the line, because the idea, what he was saying is the idea of home advantage for them is massive.
Yeah,
and you can understand that, can't you? Because if you I don't know. It's I don't envy the person trying to make up the decision of who decides this.
Well, it'd be advantage to us if they finished them all off at Wembley.
Yeah, well, yeah, all right, yeah. The Etihad South, no problem.
Surely, and I've been beating this drum for weeks now, and I know I sound like a broken record, but surely at the end of the day, this is Boris Johnson's decision. It's no one else's, because the FA and whoever else can say what they want. If our Prime Minister turns around and says, "Nope, we're still on lockdown," if we do this, there's going to be a second wave that's going to be worse. Like UK have lost 30,000 lives now.
Yeah,
highest in Europe.
Yeah, surely this comes down to Boris Johnson at the end of the day, and it's no, we can't run it. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're going to lose money, but for the safety of lives, it's done. It's voided.
You're right. The thing is, I know I don't want to bang everybody, like I say, we keep banging on about it, but you think of if you bring Leeds and West Brom up, don't have no relegations, and say to the Premier League, to Sky, up TV rights, the teams that have come up, you can have all their games, every single one of their games if you want. Do you know what I mean? Then that makes up for last season's what they've missed, doesn't it? You can say, right, they'll play every team, you have them on telly. I don't see why we don't do something like that. Yeah,
I kind of disagree with that. It's bonkers. Listen, something's going to be decided one way or the other. One thing I did read today was that the FA Cup final is going to be in or around the 8th of August, which is when UEFA are looking to resume the Champions League. So that's a key date for diaries, the 8th of August. So that's when the FA are looking to play the final. Final Wembley. You'd like to think we'd get there, wouldn't you? At the best.
Well, I'd like to think we're in both.
Yeah.
So, but I can guarantee you, if you are in both, I bet they don't move it for us. I bet we just get kicked out of it.
Yeah.
No, City can play on the Saturday and the Monday. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, appreciate that.
Can't just get an early flight back.
Well, the finals in Istanbul, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that raises another thing, right? It's got to be behind closed doors again. If that's you can't have X amount of thousand fans traveling all over Europe, can you? Doing that who was the team that came over to Liverpool just as the thing was breaking out?
Atletico.
Yeah. We can't have another repeat of that, can we?
Well, as long as the score was the same, because that was brilliant.
That's a very good shout. Very good shout. So we've seen a few rumour mills today and the last couple of days. 2 players are in the spotlight for City at the minute. I'm going to try and pronounce this, lad. Dayot Upamecano. Upamecano. Have you heard of him?
I'd butcher it as well.
Who's he?
I've had a quick Google search. This lad. He plays for Red Bull. He plays for Leipzig.
Oh, this is Upamecano.
Upamecano, that sounds much better. I see. I've not done much research on this bloke, but looking at him today, he looks like a right unit. But the only problem is, he reminds me a bit of Mangala.
Yes.
I think I've been tainted a bit.
I think we talked about him a little bit on the group chat, and he's one of those players that right now, anyway, he is being mentioned with Bayern Munich, that he's potentially already got a pre-contract agreement with them. He's been talked about with Real. He's been talked about with Barca as well.
Yeah.
And it's
And
that
he's
same
just signed a
thing
new
again.
contract.
When you link with those clubs, I'm sorry, but City are an also ran. He's not going to come to us when he's got the opportunity to go to one of those clubs. But from what I'm hearing now, he signed a new contract at Red Bull. So I don't know if that is to increase his price that he's got, and he's going to stay for another couple of years. I think we can all agree though he ain't coming to City.
Well, there's been, obviously, regards to what's happened, there's been a price drop of 33% from 52 million down to 35 million. So you'd think that with people sniffing around him, they'd be putting a quite hefty sell-on clause, sort of buyout clause, wouldn't you? And into the contract, We're going to do a new one.
Yeah.
But we have got money to spend. I reckon if we did want him, we could afford him this year, no matter what they wanted for him.
It's funny, isn't it? He's French. Liverpool. I can kind of see something happening there. We just need agent Liverpool going in there, don't we? Doing his business for us.
And how old is he, Tom? He's what, 21?
21.
And how old is Garcia?
19?
19?
Maybe.
So all I've said for many weeks now is my concern is when you have a player like Garcia, if you bring in an Upamecano, what does that say to Garcia? That, he's a couple of years older, that we know that Laporte's going to be the first choice centre-back. So if I'm Garcia and we bring in a 21, 22, 23-year-old central defender, I'm like, well, shit. Okay, I'm going to get some game time for City, but it's probably going to be in, the League Cup, or in the FA Cup. I'm not going to be that Premiership player that, I want to be. And I go back to this fear of mine again. Are we going to do a PK with Garcia and he's going to piss off back to Spain if we're not careful? That I see it the other way. That we were talking about Bonucci last week, weren't we? That why can't we go the other way, and why can't we bring in a really experienced central defender like Bonucci, who the Garcias, that even the Laportes, the Harwood Bellises can learn from, have him for a couple of seasons, and then Garcia we know will be absolutely ready.
So basically, what you're saying there is Garcia and Bonucci to be the Foden Silva type automatic position.
I would much prefer that rather than buying a young player. I said on the group chat this morning there's been a link to some player at River Plate, a central defender, and he's 23. So all I'm saying is, what does that say to Garcia when he's trying to make that breakthrough? That he's got a massive opportunity to be that partner of Laporte's, and then we go and buy another youngster in. What does that say to Garcia? And I wouldn't like that for him.
Yeah, but if Nico Otamendi went the other way, like in the River Plate deal you're on about, if that was Garcia, I'd just be thinking, I'm going to be better than him coming. That guy who's coming, he can come all he wants, whatever price tag, I'm going to be better than him. And if he's got that attitude, then he should be worrying. But I do think we need. I think Bonucci is an ideal signing because that reassurance that like a proper captain. You hear about it all the time. Like when we signed Patrick Vieira, he sort of came in and calmed everything down and sorted all young lads out.
Whenever he touched the ball, you knew he was calm, controlled, measured. Yeah.
Just come. Oh, we're 1-0 up against Wolves with 10 men. Right, Bonucci's there. Right, bring Bonucci on, lads. Just calm it down. You play football. And I think Dave's right. I think a more senior centre back who's been about block a bit, good in dressing room, is what we need.
Can't disagree with that, pal. No, I can't disagree with that. I think it would be fantastic for the younger players as well.
It really. We don't have, with someone like Bonucci. I'm sure there's others as well, but you're getting not only a world-class centre-back. I know he's 33, but he's still got 2-3 years left in him. We know that. He's got 114 caps for Italy. I mean, he's been there and done it. We've been talked about on so many podcasts about lacking that leadership this season. Bringing someone like him in, he just command the respect of everyone in that dressing room.
He'd be an immediate captain. He would be an immediate replacement for what we've lost last season.
Exactly. I really wish that Pep would just take a chance and go with someone different. We all know with Pep, he likes to buy young players who he can develop and be versatile in a variety of positions. But I would hope that this season has taught him something that ain't always going to work, Pep. You need to try something else, and you need a plan B. And your plan B has got to be bringing in an experienced leader and centre-back. And as we've talked about before, having a plan B up front as well and bringing in an actual big, tall, lanky Peter Crouch style centre-forward just for something different.
Same again, even senior. I know everybody's got an obsession. I just think with football on internet and that, everybody's got an obsession, like it's like FIFA rules or Football Manager. Got to sign this 18-year-old from Argentina and all that. Sometimes that isn't what the team needed, and our team didn't need a young centre back this season. This season we're still in. We needed a senior guy to come in and just be like, right, I'm right company now. When I get on field, lads, we're just going to play it slow. Well, not slow, but not go 100 mile an hour, panicking, and like when Mendy's got a man coming on, I'm going to tell him to clear it instead of not shouting at him. You know?
Yeah,
you're spot on. I think we've all, for rarity, we've all agreed on something there. We need the older head, not the up and coming.
Yeah,
it has been missed, though, hasn't it? It has been missed this season. Christ.
Yeah. But, you know, we've talked about over the last couple of weeks in our group chat about that. We've got an incredible academy. We've been scouring the planet for the last 2 or 3 years to get the cream of the crop in, right? You know, all across the world. And some of them, you know, like Braff, you know, we're hoping are going to be somewhat ready now. Do we need to keep bringing in, you know, young players, or do we need to maximise what we already have? And what we've just been talking about the last few minutes, is it now time to actually start supplementing the squad that we already have with a bit of experience and a bit of an older head? With the Bonucci's, you know, I think we'd all take Dzeko back in a heartbeat. You know, Dzeko's 34 now?
Yeah.
But he's experienced and he'll score your goal. And I think City maybe need to start looking at transfers in that guys rather than. I love that we're getting some of the greatest talent across the world. That right back that we signed, you know, in Brazil, I've forgotten his name now, Couto or something.
Jan Couto or something like that.
You know, that Peruvian, that 16-year-old that we just signed, love it. But let's add to that some experience with the Bonucci's or Dzekos or whatever as well.
You see, I'm always sceptical when we sign these young lads because I know City's a business, and I know that 95% of the players who sign up the academy won't play in the first team, probably even higher percentage.
Yeah,
it's a business now. I used to be excited when I used to see the younger City players coming through the academy. I used to absolutely love it. Michael Jordan's, you know, etc. Michael Johnson's of the world. And coming through, and you know, when Micah Richards came through and he went to play for England, and Sean Wright, who was only young, play for England, I was really proud. And maybe I don't see the same as our academy anymore. I see the academy as the separate entity, as the money making machine, a part of the money making machine for the club. I don't see that as a feeder club for City. It's sad, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's sad that I'd like to. Don't get me wrong. If we've got Phil Foden coming through, we've got 2 or 3 others that could be cherry picked to come through the ranks. I just don't see that the vast majority of the players coming through the academy going into the first team, which upsets me a little bit. Who was it that mentioned? There's a brilliant point in this about. Do you know what, if we did get banned from the Champions League and we got banned from, we wouldn't be able to make signings, but we'd have to play our youth. What was the point that was made in the group about the having to pick the youth team rather than going out and buying? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
No, I'm sure there's a point about basically the best thing that could happen with this Champions League ban or something along the lines of not being able to sign players going forward would have to play our younger kids in regular games.
Yeah. Well, I think we would, and I think we'd be daft not to do that. I mean, if we're going on to Champions League ban, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion for everybody, and probably get people moaning at us, but me and Dave both agree on something for once, that such as Kevin De Bruyne, if we are banned for 2 years, he should be allowed to leave. We shouldn't be holding him ransom because he's that good a player, and we should be risking it with youth players for 2 years. Because even if we're finishing 5th, 6th, 7th, what does it matter? We're not getting into anything anyway.
I think that's where I was getting at. I knew I read something somewhere about the youth getting a chance. You two, was it? But I'm not too sure I agree about Kevin going. I don't know where. I don't know where.
No, I'm not saying. He's come out and said that if the ban's upheld, he's going to look at his options. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't hold it against him to leave us because of this ban. Because
I agree.
It's sort of like Silva. If the Champions League, if we don't win the Champions League this year, or it doesn't get finished for whatever because of this COVID, it's a shame that Silva, such a great player, hasn't got that against his CV.
Yeah.
So.
No, you're right. You're right.
Same with KDB. If we don't win it, I think he deserves to go and win it somewhere else. I'm sorry, Blues. There's a break his heart there.
It's hard thinking, isn't it? It won't happen. It won't happen. We'll be fine. We'll be ready.
Well, that was my, just so we can get some comments on this, that was mine and Dan's take on this, that I don't want KDB to go under any circumstances, but I'm a football fan at the end of the day, and I would hate Kevin De Bruyne to miss that opportunity of playing in Europe for a couple of seasons because of our ban. And if we can get top whack for him, if we can get 150, 200 million for him, which is what he's worth, then he'd go with my blessing. This isn't a Sane situation, is it, with De Bruyne?
No.
He's not argued with the club in any way. He's been there 5 years, and he's one of the best players in the world. As long as we got a good transfer fee for him, he would go with my blessing, to be perfectly honest.
And he's 28. He's had a bit of last season. He had a lot of injuries, so maybe. I mean, he's a great player, but if he's got 5 years left, he might be thinking, bloody hell, 2 years I'll be 30. Might be carrying a knock still. I won't blame him anyway. Not that wanted to happen.
No, I'm gonna move on because it makes me sad. Do you know Fernandinho has been with City for 7 years?
Brilliant.
7 years. It doesn't seem that long, does it?
He played every position bar up front.
Yeah, it's just in that 7 years, 3 Premier Leagues, 5 League Cups, 1 FA Cup, and a Copa America. He's not done too badly in his career, has it, at City, since he left Shakhtar?
Wow,
no.
That's amazing.
I just want to reread that. 3 Premier Leagues, 5 League Cups, and 1 FA Cup, and a Copa America. That's pretty phenomenal, that, isn't it?
Yeah, and how many titles did he win with Shakhtar?
Not sure.
He must be on 7 on there, surely.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm trying to have a quick peek now, but no, I can't see too much about that, unfortunately. But yeah,
and you know what?
What a player he's been. 32 million he cost us.
He bypassed his bonus with Shakhtar Donetsk. If he'd have stayed another season, I think they'd have given him 15 million for staying so long, or a ridiculous figure like 15, 20 million. And because he came to us, he lost all that. So fair play to him. Chose his career over money.
Do you know what? Absolutely. And that just tells you how much he was positive about what was going to happen to him at City, and obviously he had a bit of a pay rise from us as well, didn't he? So he would have done all right with it somewhere.
Bad. Yeah, he was Pellegrini's first signing, wasn't he?
I think Demichelis came in first on a free. Or we paid $1 million for him or something daft like that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because I think we could have signed him free, but Pellegrini, something happened and we had to pay Malaga for him. So it was something like that anyway. But yeah, I think it would. I mean, Demichelis, what a bad player he was, but he still won titles, didn't he?
He did. I still remember him running and jumping in the air with a trophy.
Yeah. Yeah, he did all right.
With that dodgy Barney.
Oh, you got Fernandinho.
I might grow my hair and have Demichelis.
Oh, please do, Dan. Please, mate. Don't know if you're going to show us your hair then. From underneath your cap. Oh, brilliant. Well, I think we're coming to an end, lads. Wanted to.
All right.
Yeah, has anyone else got anything to add before we make a move and obviously wait for the big day tomorrow with John Macken?
Well, I just thought a couple of promotions we've got. Just mentioned some other players we've got lined up, and we're also thinking about doing. We're also thinking about doing some live skits, some filming some funny stories, and while I've been talking to you, Mark McLean's been texting me pointers about how to write them. So
just want to add a few facts. Yeah, we just want to, for people listening, we just want to add a few funny segments into the podcast, sort of halfway through, just to mix it up a little bit. And we're running very close to bone with a couple of them as well, aren't we? So I think we need to. What was it you said, Dave? I hope we've got our solicitors at the ready. Just to
get the might be lawyers, I think, ready.
Oh, we'll have to set it up as a business in Oregon near Portland somewhere.
There you go. Yeah, you don't pay tax here, so there you go.
Right, well, we'll leave there, chaps. Just want to before we go, I just want to thank everyone for listening. Just got a little bit of a thing to read here. What we'd really appreciate everyone doing is to share the pod with friends and family, anyone that you think that might appreciate what we're saying. Also, if you'd go the extra mile and go over to Apple Podcasts to subscribe and leave a little review for the show. I don't know if you two know, I love my podcasts, and the way it works that if you review a podcast, it goes further up the rankings. So when someone was to search Man City or Manchester's Blue, we're further up the rankings, so we get seen better. So if anyone wants to do that for us, it really, really helps. So your support and positive reviews go a huge way to increasing our visibility. So thank you for everybody. And don't forget to everybody, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. How was that? Was that okay? Fantastic. Right, Blues. Dave, I'll see you tomorrow.
Right.
Dan, I'll speak to you later.
Recording in a minute.
Cheers, Blues. Catch you later.
Right, talk to you tomorrow. City till we die.
Oh,